Is this the most emotional keeper farewell Newcastle has seen in years? With medical tests underway and contracts being signed, the Martin Dubravka era at St. James Park is officially coming to an end. What's up, Toon Army? This is NUFC Quick News, your source for raw black and white passion. Today we're talking about a legend saying goodbye, and trust me, this one hits different. Let's get into it. The news we've all been expecting has finally dropped. Martin Dubravka is officially leaving Newcastle United. Sky Sports confirmed that Burnley have agreed a permanent deal with Newcastle United for the Slovakian goalkeeper, and Dubravka is currently having his medical ahead of finalizing the move. But here's what the mainstream media isn't telling you. This move was inevitable the moment Aaron Ramsdale walked through the doors at St. James's Park. Think about it, Toon Army. When was the last time you saw a club with 6 senior goalkeepers on the books? Something had to give, and unfortunately for Dubravka, he drew the short straw. What do you think about this timing? Was Newcastle right to let Martin go now, or should they have kept him for European competition depth? Let's talk about the brutal reality of modern football. Dubravka has been heavily linked with a move to the Saudi Pro League during the January transfer window, but instead remained on Tyneside and signed a new contract with the club, one that rewarded him for some brilliant form around the turn of the year. The man literally saved our season when Nick Pope was injured, kept us in games we had no right staying in, and what's his reward? A medical room in Lancashire. Here's the kicker that nobody's talking about. The irony of this entire situation is absolutely mental. Newcastle United had been trying to sign James Trafford, only for Manchester City to buy him, leading to the need for Martin Dubravka or another replacement for Trafford. So Burnley lose Trafford to City, then immediately swoop in for our Martin. It's like a twisted game of musical chairs, except the music never stops and goalkeepers just keep moving around the Premier League. Are you feeling the same frustration I am? Drop a comment and let me know if this transfer merry-go-round is getting out of hand. But let's give credit where credit is due. Martin Dubravka has been nothing short of exceptional for this football club. After initially joining the Magpies on loan, Dubravka was signed on a permanent basis at the end of that season and was the club's #1 for 4 years, playing 179 times in all competitions before Pope made the move to St. James's Park. 179 appearances. That's nearly 180 times this man put his body on the line for Newcastle United. Remember that incredible save against Wolves. He was nominated for the Premier League Save of the Season award for his stop to deny Wolves' Jorgen Strand Larsen in January. That's the quality we're losing here, and frankly, it stings. Remember to smash that subscribe button if you're feeling emotional about this departure. We're building the biggest Toon Army community on YouTube. Now here's where it gets interesting from a tactical perspective. Newcastle have agreed a deal to sign Southampton goalkeeper Aaron Ramsdale on a season-long loan with an option to buy next summer. Ramsdale brings Premier League pedigree, international experience, and crucially, he's already worked with Eddie Howe at Bournemouth. But let's be honest here, is he actually better than Dubravka? The numbers don't lie, and this is where the mainstream media completely misses the point. While everyone's celebrating Ramsdale's arrival, they're forgetting that Dubravka was statistically one of the most reliable keepers in the Premier League when called upon. His distribution might not be as flashy, but his shot-stopping ability, absolutely world-class. What's your take on the Ramsdale signing? Upgrade or sideways move? Let me know in the comments. Here's what really gets me fired up about this situation. The timing couldn't be worse for Martin. The goalkeeper has been in talks with Burnley over a move to Turf Moor, and there's now an agreement in place. But think about what this means for his career trajectory. At 36 years old, this could genuinely be his last shot at regular Premier League football. The man deserves so much better than this. He's been professional throughout this entire process, never kicked up a fuss when Pope came in and took his spot, stepped up brilliantly when Pope was injured, and now he's being shipped off to a newly promoted side that, let's be brutally honest, will probably be fighting relegation all season long. If you're feeling as passionate about this as I am, make sure you hit that like button. Let's show Martin the respect he deserves. But here's the masterstroke that Eddie Howe might be pulling here, and it's something the tactical analysts aren't picking up on. Alexander Isak wants to leave Newcastle, but that will not happen until a replacement is identified. While Isak waits for Newcastle to buy a new striker, the Toon hierarchy have agreed a deal for one of his teammates to leave the club. This is sending a clear message to every player in that dressing room. Nobody leaves until we have a replacement sorted. It's smart business, but it's also cold as ice. Martin gets his move because we've got Ramsdale coming in. But Isak? He's stuck until we find our next striker. The financial side of this deal is fascinating too. Newcastle United are paying $4 million to loan Aaron Ramsdale from Southampton for 1 season, while we're letting a proven Premier League goalkeeper go for what's probably a fraction of that fee. In today's market, that's just the reality of squad management, but it doesn't make it any less frustrating. Are you seeing the bigger picture here? This isn't just about Martin. This is about how modern football treats loyalty. Drop a comment if you agree. The saddest part about all this? Famously, those appearances came in the Carabao Cup, which ensured that Dubravka was then cup-tied and ineligible to play for the Magpies in that season's final at Wembley. Remember when Martin went on loan to Manchester United and couldn't play in our Carabao Cup final? The man sacrificed a winner's medal for the good of his career, and now he's doing it again by moving to Burnley. That's the level of professionalism we're losing here. In a world full of player power and agents running the show, Martin Dubravka has conducted himself with absolute class throughout his time at Newcastle United. Looking ahead, this move makes sense for everyone involved, even if it hurts emotionally. Burnley were built on their defensive solidity last season, so it's imperative that they bring in a competent goalkeeper to replace Trafford. Martin will get the regular football he deserves, Burnley get a keeper with bags of Premier League experience, and Newcastle can move forward with a new goalkeeper setup. But what does this mean for our European campaign? Are we actually stronger or weaker with this change? Let me know your thoughts. The bottom line is this: Martin Dubravka has been an absolute warrior for this football club. Through good times and bad, through relegation battles and European qualification, the man has been there when we needed him most. And now, as we prepare for another season of Champions League football, we're saying goodbye to a goalkeeper who played a crucial role in getting us there. So there you have it. Toon Army, the Martin Dubravka era is officially over. It's the end of an era, the closing of a chapter. And honestly, it's harder to take than I thought it would be. But that's football, that's progress, and that's what it takes to compete at the highest level. Smash that like button if you're buzzing for the new season, but also feeling emotional about Martin's departure. And hit subscribe to never miss a Toon update. Your support means everything as we build the biggest Newcastle community on YouTube. Until next time, stay proud, stay loud, and always keep the faith. Away the lads.